Yo, geezers, what's going on? It's Speci here. Please, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it, comment down below what decks you want to see next, and subscribe to the channel. Also, I stream Gwent on Twitch every day at 3:30 PM GMT, so come hang out, come say hello. Siege is probably the best deck in the game. That's my hot take after playing a few games with it, playing against it quite a bit as well. Why is that? Well, it got a bunch of new reworks and support. Siege Master being one of those key cards. It's a 4 provision card, very similar to a Mage Assassin, 2 power, and it's basically a thinning card. If you play a Siege Engine, this is going to summon to the right-hand side of it. It's a Soldier, so it gives you some crew pocket synergy, and then you draw a card. So it's a deck cycling tool, and Northern Realms often has trouble finding all of its golds, but I have been thinning down to 2 cards with this deck, which means it's very, very difficult indeed to miss cards. I think the only time I did, in fact, was Henselt was the very bottom card of my deck, Henselt being a thinning card. And by the way, Henselt is absolutely insane. This card is completely cracked. I always thought this card was quite good, but now that it's got better Siege Engines to pull, because Foltest Pride got buffed as well as some others, but also a bunch of cards' cooldowns got buffed as well. And we'll talk about why that is, and it's because of the keyword resupply. So I think Foltest Pride is a good card to look at because it's a Siege Engine. Of course, it's the Siege Master is going to be basically plus 2 points on this. Also, it's got a cooldown, and it's got crew, so it can be pulled off of Henselt. And it's also got the new resupply keyword. So this is a keyword that's always existed. Whenever you play a warfare card, something would happen. But now, whenever you play a warfare card, it's going to reduce the card's cooldown by 1. So essentially, Reinforced Ballistas, how this card has worked, that's now how every single cooldown card is working. Whenever you play a warfare card, you reduce the cooldown by 1. What this means is there's a bunch of cards that have been given resupply, like the Siege Tower, the Frigate's got it as well, Foltest Pride, and of course the Reinforced Ballistas. That means cards like Bombardment, Boiling Oil, and Winch. Winch got buffed, guys. Think about that. Winch got buffed. Are you mad? This card is so OP and it got buffed. Bruh. It's quite mind-boggling how good this card is. Because not only can you winch your Raffard's Vengeance, which also got buffed, by the way, because while, okay, it doesn't have resupply, you can now combo it with Siege Master for plus 2 points. So you can go Henselt into Vengeance, which is also good at pull a Siege Master, into Leader Charge, into another Bronze, all in a turn, and it's just quite insane. Because Henselt is an engine of its own right, obviously Raffard's is an engine as well, and of course then you play another engine like a Ballista or a Frigate or something like that. So the points you can just get with this are pretty insane. And of course Siege also has some kind of engine overload, and Siege itself got buffed too because the battering ram has also been given resupply. So whenever you play a warfare card, the cooldown gets reduced. And of course Bombardment is a warfare card, which not only is that going to reduce the cooldown of your battering ram, but also all the cooldowns of your other resupply cards like Foltest Pride, like your Ballistas, like your Frigate, like your Siege Towers, which are now 4 provisions. These basically just replace Ballistas as that 4 provision slot for Siege decks. We've also put Hubert Wreck into the deck. This is just because there doesn't seem to be like a really good high-end card. You could consider playing Shani. The deck is currently Devotion as well, making use of the Carrack Marines. There's maybe an argument to move away from Devotion, but there doesn't really seem to be any need, and Carrack Marines are just a really solid option. And yeah, Hubert is going to be thinning from your deck 5 points. When you've already got cards like Siege Master and Vengeance, just having more cards which thin from your deck do make a lot of sense, especially because a lot of the time you're just going to want to get round control with this deck, and then have first say in round 2 to really push aggressively for 2-0, or intentionally lose round 1 with some sort of tempo pass to then have first say in a long round 3, because first say for an engine deck is often very good. The main considerations for this are, a lot of people haven't been playing the Frigate. I don't think sleep on this card. I wouldn't be surprised if you play 2 of them, because this has now been given resupply, and it doesn't really work like it did before. Before it could be interrupted, you would need to have a Soldier pocket for it to work, but now the crew just means it's got a countdown of 1. A cooldown of 1 rather. So if you've got this card crewed, you're getting a volunteer every turn, but then also if you're to use a warfare card like Assault, you can get another click of it. So this card is kind of insane. We're using Inspired Zeal. That's because we get access to Vengeance very consistently. Selkirk is a nice option as well, and the final Leader Charge can be used on either the Carrack Frigate or also on the battering ram off of Siege. I do think there's a really high consideration to play Onsace in this deck as well, as just a nice little extra control tool to go alongside the Boiling Oils, the Foltest Pride, the Selkirk. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Onsace makes its way in instead of the Queen of Dahlia. She's the main card I'm not a massive fan of, but a lot of these bronze engines are very, very solid. Hence why we also use reinforcements, as it's just a solid warfare card. Speaking of warfare cards, like, honestly, the cooldown value you get on these are so good. You might even want to try and consider playing something like a Mad Charge, but at the moment, I think we only have one knight, which is Selkirk, so unlikely that's gonna be the case, but there's definitely, you know, smoke them out. It's a 6-point card, which isn't great, but the fact that it's going to be reducing the cooldowns on so many of your cards is kind of interesting. Also, it gives you like a little soldier pocket. So at the moment, just the winches, the bombardments, the oils, the reinforcements, and the amphibious assault. But yeah, this is my take on the deck. I do think it's pretty optimized. Again, wouldn't be surprised if a second frigate gets thrown in there. Also, would not be too surprised to see Onsace being a preferred option. Shani as well could be a consideration. And then you've got other cards like, I mean, what if you even could play Vernon Roach in this deck? Like, honestly, might be worth a try because the deck thins so much. I guess the big problem is you'd Vernon Roach into the Siege Masters. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've enjoyed the deck intro again, make sure you like it. And yeah, make sure you check me out on Twitch, 3:30 PM GMT every single day. All right, see ya. Bye. Okay, we're up against Formation. This card's obviously fantastic to have access to. Henselt doesn't have a bunch of options that are in hand here, right? That aren't in hand. Is it crude cards? Is that the keyword on him? So we can hit Siege Tower. Maybe just means I mulligan a Siege Tower. Could also just mean I mulligan Pride, right? And just try and combo these cards together. Bombardment seems very bad against Formation because of all the armor.
I shall not repeat Emir's mistakes.
Could also have mulliganed Vengeance and gone for Red Coin Abuse, right? That's probably a better bet. Just mulligan Vengeance and then go Henselt into Vengeance. But it's just like the fact that Vengeance got... Oh man. It's so disgusting actually, isn't it? You can go Henselt. Even this is disgusting, honestly. So how does this work exactly on the cooldown? That's what I want to know. Yeah. That's pretty insane. So Henselt just creates an engine overload. I've now got 2 engines on the board. Obviously it's not completely ideal that I timed it the way I did. That's actually pretty bad, though. Right? Just cucking my Henselt a little. Okay. Yeah, I mean the fact that oil and bombardment and winch are all like triggering the cooldowns is just such a huge buff to Henselt. Pride also getting just such a significant buff, man. And this card, it's like, wow, it's kind of insane. Pretty broken, right? Isn't Stonkpile better? I don't think so. Stonkpile is definitely a consideration, but you just don't get the Selkirk, which Selkirk's pretty flipping good, you know? And Vengeance becomes a lot, like, less awkward in this deck as well. We're using our third needed charge on a frigate, by the way, if you're wondering. That's the game plan. Hand seems fine. Could mulligan this, I suppose. Definitely think this deck seems a little bit too strong, to be honest. It's my early impression. Bro, that's an old video. That's an old video. My lord.
It's not about why, it's about why not.
Just dug up a grave. Yeah, no. It does just seem like there's just been too many like things added to this deck, right? Like the resupply thing is a lot. You've got the Siege Masters. You've already got Henselt like added into the mix. It's very spooky. I guess I was supposed to Adalia that, thinking about it, right? It's a pretty good play from our opponent.
There are things in the universe of which even the sages have not dreamt.
I haven't played this particularly well just yet. Okay. My man's playing the formation to counter the siege decks. It's kind of interesting, huh? Bruh. Should have played this to the left. Missed out on one pocket from Vengeance here, right?
You shall know the Emperor's fury!
Mate, Frigga is so cracked, man. It's insane. I guess we just take Marine. Maybe we're even taking like flipping Boiling, or I don't know. Probably not. Obviously it would be John into Winch if I had a card in hand, a bronze. Yeah, Frigate was buffed because it was given cooldown plus resupply. Or I guess it had cooldown already, right? But it lost like its need to have the crew pocket. It changed a lot actually, right? Very different card now.
And it's all for me grog, me milking grog.
Kind of scary. Can they do it? I'm assuming they can't. It's pretty close. I don't think we need to kill Siri. We just want to go for maximum points instead. Which is the Marine here. Just when the game goes instead of killing Siri. A very, very similar. This is already on my YouTube channel. I've tweaked it somewhat. I still think this is maybe wanting to be a Hubert. We'll see. Okay. Going first this time. Probably going to be using Crystal Skull on this. Could see us kicking like one of these cards, maybe. Could play Reinforcements as well, yeah. Reinforcements is a pretty good card. Like, Warfare cards are just very cracked, right?
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
Jeez! Oh wow, that's a pretty good find, huh?
Fire spell.
Wouldn't be surprised if double frigate's correct, man. This card feels so good. How am I feeling? A lot better, thanks, mate. Making on Odrin, I really like the card. It's really cool, but it doesn't seem like it's like when the Warfare and the Siege cards are just so good. It seems like it's probably not good enough.
Ship ahoy!
I'm not super convinced by Dahlia. I think she's good because the bronzes are very good in this deck though. But you're in Lost Ark? Nice. I'm thinking about playing it myself. Thinking about trying it. I know nothing about it. I only heard about it today via the odd social media. Sort of like last night when I was playing Dying Light, I was kind of getting a bit over it almost, you know. Need a card for a Dahlia and Vengeance. Oh god. Oh no, that's so unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate. Horizon Collector's Edition. Nice, mate. I'd love to play that. I don't have a PS though, unfortunately. We're just going to try and do like some kind of bleed with Siege here to try and get some leader charges from them. That's the general game plan. We're not going to be trying to push for the 2-0 or anything like that. I wouldn't actually be super surprised if War Chariot is not all that good in this deck, but it does have resupply, so it did get a big buff. I just feel like the deck maybe just wants like some more juicy, like mid-rangey cards. Like Shani's so good, man. It's bad not to play her. She's not that good in this deck. Like Gerhardt, for example, as well. Could also try and go non-devotion and just fit some other cards in. That's a pretty weird play. It's a pretty weird play, mate. Henselt's good here.
You want peace? Fight for it.
Yeah, it's fine though. We're just going to take a pass pretty soon here. Is the overlay that shows the cards? It should be. Let me just see if I can sort it.
This harvest will be reaping black cloud heads.
Dark clouds gather over Temeria.
I shall flog them into submission.
Reality is that which, though you believe it no more, does not go away.
See what I mean about this war chariot though? It's just a bit too middling. I feel like frigate is just better than it. Like obviously it's good for dealing with defender, that's like the main use of it.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
These dogs have no honor.
With devotion at the moment with marines, which I don't think is super necessary or anything like that. It's all the same. Was that the right reference? Did I get it right?
Barbarians all.
This deck seems very broken. Unfortunately, which is quite sad to see. Can't say I'm too surprised. I definitely like the change to resupply, but it's just too much to this deck all at once, right? Like, we haven't even found these cards yet. My gut feeling is Trollololol, War Chariot. Kind of want to change these up a bit. Reinforcements would be quite nice. Hubert does probably feel good, yeah. Because the bronzes are just so good, it helps you polarize.
Onward, sons of Nilfgaard!
I feel like this card is actually the worst in the hand. Kind of insane.
Take him to the woods and release the hound.
It's not about why,
pass
it's
on
about
every
why
10th
not.
I guess this is a bit of a misplay, Rex, of my Adalia. Ah, it's fine. We'll just draw another bronze, guys. Trust me. See? So troll, but never mind. Never punished.
No good wine will come from here, not even compost.
My great-granddaughter will do great things.
Nothing will stop us.
Oof. Oh, this is a soldier. Okay, so you're worth a couple more points then as well. Why isn't Adalia mage? Because she is a she's Elder Blood, Ciri's great grandmother. Yeah, I mean Hubert's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the deck builder.
Knocky, knocky, Grog.
Wonder if you ever Swiss mulligan this. Seems a bit of a weird one. Hand's fine, I guess. Just mulligan, actually.
I'm an officer and a gentleman.
This does seem like the smoothest version of this deck, in fairness.
Put those arrows up your ass.
Want to make sure we don't thin QB round 1. Yeah, I can premium the hand slot, to be fair. Good idea. Good idea. But all the warfare cards just seem very overtuned, right, with all these resupply tags now. Is there ever a world we just pass? We just don't play another card?
No, dwarves do not qualify for childcare tax relief. You'll need Form Z6 CV1265X for that.
I can kind of see it. It's a bit of a weird one, but...
I only loot corpses, except sometimes they're quite fresh.
Dandelion makes some weird noises, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So we're going to a long round where we have first say. Sounds pretty good to me.
Premium grade won't find any better.
We need to make sure we thin the Hubert before we vengeance or anything. Am I gonna play again? What do you mean, sorry mate? No comprende. Play what again? Don't really know what to do here. Don't want to mulligan any of these cards. But also my dry pass is weird. Play with these nuts. Brilliant.
Dark clouds gather over the
Shit.
area. I pass
Oh
on
shit.
every 10th round.
Suppose this wasn't the play. Suppose I was supposed to go for Marine. Still not sure on both Siege Masters. Hand seems good. I'd like Selkirk. The hell would I mulligan for it though?
My great-granddaughter will do great things.
Not happy about mulliganing the oil and not finding Selkirk, to be honest. It's pretty atrocious actually.
See me smiling. I'm dead serious.
object of dark desire.
Men of Kedwen, attack!
Could also just not play like the frigate and just leader charge this, for example. I mean, you've got the option of both, right? But like we could have leader charged the battering ram here. It was a pretty reasonable option. Reasonable.
To me, you are a mere trifle, an amused book.
It hasn't backfired yet.
That was pretty unfortunate, wasn't it?
Novigrad requires rejuvenation, a rebirth.
Look how many engines I've got, man. It's disgusting. It's actually filthy. I guess I should have backroad this because it's one less engine that can get freak showed really easily.
Shame to let this beauty go to waste.
Shouldn't play this, right, because of the vengeance.
Scurvy? Nah, fake elven you.
Frigate seems a bit unnecessary. I mean, it does in this hand. Card's just really nice round one, though, right? Card's just insanely good as well.
All in due course.
Wow. Like, this card got buffed, guys. Like, big time. Yeah, look at this thinning. It's disgusting, right? It's actually flipping grim. This actually looks like it might win. There's no might about it. Like, it's not even close. It's not even close.
You fear me, I sense it, I smell it. These dogs have no honor.
I guess I could have just oiled it, to be honest. Oops.
Come closer. Come on now, try.
Like, look at these frigates, guys. Bruh. Look at this hen cell. Bruh. Yeah, I also wasted points here, right?
Love to hear him beg for mercy. Not that it helps.
Oh, why did I not? What am I doing? Wasting points. As if it matters! Not even that can catch me. Seems very broken. Yeah, they had Philip and Morelsi still. We're going first again, which is unfortunate. This is definitely a red coin deck, because you're probably going to win on even if you draw Hensel. So the frigate's really nice.
I'm an officer and a gentleman.
I'll be a household name before long. Gronk. Rinokey Gronk.
West Ham are starting Zuma, apparently. My friends just told me. Oh my god. Oh dear. I don't know who they're against. He's the one that kicked the cat, mate. His kid was holding the cat and he bitch slapped the cat out of his kid's hands, and his brother put it on Snapchat. Like, what the fuck? Come on, man. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Scrub this, scrub that, for fuck's sake. I'm sick of these children.
Yeah, and he's playing tonight. Oh god. Dude, the crew pocket. Do I need crew? Oh shit. Yeah, right. Thanks. Not reading cards. Your camera looking good? Thank you, mate. Cheers. This card's popping off, man.
Not all dragons crave.
Yo, Stitus with the sub. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Hand's fine. Could try and maybe mulligan. I don't know. Hand's fine. Right. It'd be nice to actually have another bronze card, basically. And that's almost bricked if we not care. So a lot of things to click on this one.
Destiny is unswerving. Cheated. It will not be.
We didn't need to charge the frigate in round 1, so we can need to charge the battering ram. So it just gets out of, like, freak show range, right? It's kind of why I don't like Adalia so much in this deck. She's forcing us to, like, slow down Vengeance, which is really bad, actually. We're almost interested in passing. Yeah, he is playing. That's what I've heard. I don't know if the lineup's actually out, but my friend told me he's a West Ham fan. He's sure that means either the lineup's out or a.
Per Angusta ad Augusta.
It's like it's a pretty local derby as well. Watford, West Ham. You know, like Watford is north, East London, and West Ham's East London, isn't it? So they're not really far away from each other. Should be quite a lot of banter flying around.
Dark clouds gather over Temeria.
The docks! The docks! Which way to the docks? I love this job.
Didn't go so well for me, did it? But this was like a very control heavy list. They also just had every card they could have asked for already. They had Siggy, Witchfinder, Freak Show, Raiden. Kind of blame the Adalia, mate. It slowed me down so much. Could still draw a Henselt, so we should go for the Ballista here.
No, dwarves do not qualify for childcare tax relief.
Come on, Henselt.
I pass on every 10th round.
Did they play Philippa already? Yeah, we didn't see Henselt. It's the only card we didn't see. It's the bottom card. GG. I'm just going to the Lugos.